Oh my god.
Damn, you gotta find a way to eat before this gets started. Right?
How you
My
guys
goodness.
doing? Oh,
All right.
sorry.
I'm doing all right. I think we all had some. I think I venture to guess that we're all pretty tired.
We had a
today.
big day as a team.
Something
Yeah.
like that. Something like that, right?
I mean,
Something-
Aaron, you got a little glow to you. I feel like you had a great day.
Well, I don't know if you noticed, but it was this big, like, huge, like, fireball in the sky that wasn't blocked by anything today. It was just like
Bro.
there the whole time. It was gorgeous. It was absolutely amazing. The sun was showing out today, so maybe maybe I got a little tanny tan.
Yeah,
from
I
being
felt
out
like
there a little bit.
I felt like I might have got a 10 today.
It was
Like a tiny.
the sun was sunny for sure.
I was out there long enough.
Yeah. You
Was
were.
you at 4.5?
4.5 hours.
I feel like you could have watched the entire Avatar in the time you was out there.
The series, both of them. Yeah,
For sure.
Maybe next time I'll just listen to a movie.
Does it work like that?
I mean,
you never know
like,
until you try it.
You ever been on like just kind of like put a movie on, and so you can like focus on cleaning or doing something else, like just have something on in the background.
I'm more of a podcast guy.
Maybe it's the folks who are 40 and over who remember putting on a TV.
Yeah. We didn't have podcasts growing up, kid.
Yeah.
No, I feel like there's people that listen to movies all the time.
Yeah, no, I'm sure they do, especially their favorites.
Yeah. All right. Well, hey, chat. Hey, group. Hey, team. Tap in. Where you at? Did you run today? What'd you run? Distance or race? We have some PRs to discuss, or at least one for sure that we got to discuss. We have a race we need to recap. We have a workout we need to chat about, and we have an adventure of a run to go through.
Mm-hmm.
But first, I'd like to let you guys know.
But first,
you're the first. Thank you for doing that. But first, I would like to let you guys know that I have just onboarded a new sponsor for the show. This episode
that was probably the most corporate thing you've ever said in your life.
What I say?
You just onboarded.
He started speaking in LinkedIn. That's crazy.
we just onboarded a new sponsor. This podcast, this episode for the next several are going to be brought to you by Sur Nutrition. If you there you go, hold them up. What you got, Gary? Okay, he got a bottle. I got the meal shake, which is basically the protein shake. Okay, we'll talk about this really quick. We had Sur Nutrition. Sur Nutrition was the sponsor of TRE Live for both days, so we had the opportunity to try their meal shake and their crunchy strawberries and crunchy mangoes, but there's some other things that they have involved to offer as well. Cool thing is they are a plant-based company, so everything that they offer is plant-based. You don't have to be vegan to take that, but obviously if you're like, hey, I'd like to consume as many plant-based items as possible, this is your lane. They have the meal shake, which is great. It has 23 grams of carbs, 12 grams of fiber, which is actually really cool because like not a lot of protein shakes I looked up don't have a lot of fiber.
23 grams of protein. You said carbs.
Yes, sorry, yeah. I'm in my carb era. Sorry, 23 grams of plant protein.
And that comes out next month.
This one?
Yeah, that comes out in April.
Okay, sweet. And it has 40 grams of carbs if you want to know. And then they have the crunchy strawberries. These are dried snacks. They're really good. Kids like them. Parents like them. All that above. And then they also have two things that I have not just tried yet, which I can't wait to get a hold of. One is the joint support. And all the cool part about like their supplements are a lot of supplements like joint support are not vegan because they have like eggshell or fish oil or whatever else in them. This is a vegan option for joint support. And then they also have beetroot. Beetroot is a nice vibe. This is like their entry level to their alt red. Their alt red was, I think alt red was one of their first products that they came out with that like took the endurance I think it was more like cycling was into it by storm, and that was like their claim to fame. And then they started making more products, but they're very a smaller company, very passionate about the space, very passionate about what the products that they put out. So please, if you're interested in trying Sur Nutrition, PR Project followers get a code PR Project for 15% off. That's PR Project when you go to purchase at sur.co, sur.co, 15% off your purchase. PR Project.
We should also point out that they won like nutrition. They won an award at TRE, right, for like best nutrition brand or best new nutrition.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah,
maybe it's for the crunchy mango and the crunchy strawberries. But yeah, like we had just had them on our show, and then like they went back and got their award. So we didn't even know about it. They didn't even know about it when we interviewed them at TRE.
Yeah. So yeah, we're really happy to have them on board. Like we tried some of the products already. We met the people. We chatted with them a couple different times while we were at TRE. They stayed in touch. They said they were interested, and here we are. So please tap in if you're looking for a new protein, or like if you like snacks and you want them to be a little more healthy, or your kids like snacks like that.
My daughter, whenever we get a bag of crunchy mangoes or crunchy strawberries, she'll take the whole bag down. Like they've actually promoted it as a like take it right on the bag itself. It says perfect for lunch boxes. So you know, if you want to, if you have a kid who likes to eat healthy or wants a different type of fruit in their lunchbox, for sure. They taste to me. I've said this to you guys before. They have that texture to me like the marshmallows and like a Lucky Charms or like a cereal like that. So you can't really go wrong with that, you know, unless you hate sugar and fun.
I mean, who hates sugar and fun? But all right. Well, thank you so much, Sur Nutrition. You're going to be hearing more about them. We'll remind you what the code is a little later, 15% off. I can't wait till that meal shake comes out for everybody because it tastes really great and it kind of it covers everything. And like I'm not a macros guy, but it actually covers like all of them except for fat, right?
Yeah.
It has 4.5 grams of fat, but you know what I mean. Like, so I like those ones where sometimes when I had it, because they were like raving about it. I looked at my other proteins, and most of the proteins that you take don't have fiber at all, and fibers are very like I think under something we don't talk about a bunch as runners.
Right. And as a good post run and or just a quick on the go lunch as well. So
yeah. All right. Now that we got the fun part out of the way, let's talk about the race that just happened today. Let's talk about this. Let's talk about the scale. Let's just jump into it. Let's chat about it. But first, before you start telling us about your story, big shout out to a friend of the show, Malik Jordan. He's in the chat. He said, "Sup, guys, LOL. Sup, guys. Don't sup, guys, us. You know, because you're the guy that just went out and crushed the race.
Guys, buddy.
What was the exact time? 1:18.
1:18 and some change.
1:18 change. Drop the time. Drop your exact time in the chat. I believe that was a PR.
Yeah,
2-minute PR.
2-minute PR. With I think the average pace of that was like 6 flat. Great race. Holy cow.
Yeah.
1:18 and some change is super fast, and he is gearing up for Boston. So what are we, a month and a half or so out from Boston? So he dropped in the chat 1:18:35. Just I don't even know if you can hear me.
1:18:35 is so perfect because like it's not like you just snuck in under 1:19, like you comfortably got under 1:19, but you didn't get too close to 1:18 where you feel like
to be upset.
I could have just went a little bit. Like you know, it's like right in that sweet spot.
Yeah. Good work.
Man, awesome day, man. Awesome work. I mean, I've been seeing him. I mean, honestly, I've been seeing all these runs on this treadmill that he's been doing. I mean, I'm surprised the treadmills at this dude's gym still works. Like every time he runs, he's like 6 flat or something close to it. So he's been putting in the work, been putting in the miles, and it's good to see like somebody get out there and do what they said they were gonna do.
Yeah. We passed each other after the airport, and he was looking real strong around mile 10.
Okay.
So I knew he was gonna be having a good day.
Yeah. Awesome. Awesome. All right. All right. Now that we got the congratulations, and congrats to everybody else that ran Rock CF. Rock CF is a really great race. It started to raise money and awareness for cystic fibrosis. Really great organization. The people that run it are awesome. And the race just keeps getting bigger and bigger every year. So
yeah, they capped out at 800, and there were a ton of PRs because they have a gong. So you hit the gong when you get a PR, and that thing was just
gonging. Gonging.
Yeah, it's the best word I could use without getting a. Hey, buddy.
Okay.
Shout out Steve. Shout out Steve.
Steve said a 3-minute PB in the half today, way behind you guys, but you're way ahead of your old personal best. You like that? You like that?
That link kind of corporate speak is just like,
bro. I have been on LinkedIn so heavy this week. No, I'm just playing. But yeah, let's see what other corporate speak I can get to. But let's talk about your day, Gary. So Gary, you've been talking about this race. This was one of the ones that was not circled on your calendar because this is more of a workout for you. It was like maybe semicircle because you wanted to get out there and do your thing. Let's talk about your day. When you woke up this morning, how did you feel about the hour that we lost and gained?
Because it was so. Hold on, Abigail. Because it was so early. Nicholas just was walking around with an empty like a half-empty Diet Coke bottle, and it was open.
Hey, get him.
Because it was so early, I got up at 4:30, so I'm not even sure the time difference made any difference at that point.
No.
You know, because I get so anxiety filled about getting parking because it's an island, it's very limited there. So I got up early and I came down the stairs, and the very first thing I did was step in dog poop. So I thought,
inside the house or outside the house?
Inside the house.
There you go.
So that was
sign of a good day on the way.
Yeah, and then I'm putting together my water and all my stuff to run in, and I spilled half of the powder. I just thought, okay, it's okay.
What powder? What powder, Gary?
Liquid IV for one, and then hey buddy.
Okay.
Hey, I see you. And then scratch for the other. My family just got back from Pittsburgh, so he's excited. Anyway, I just spilled that all over the counter. It was just like, this is trying to is this gonna be the day that
the kids weren't even there to blame?
No, it was all me.
Just in the house fumbling around.
Yeah.
Yo, I mean, honestly, when moments like that happen, you just got to take a second and be like, oh, great. Got all the dumb stuff out the way.
That's what it was too. It was just like, take a deep breath, relax. And the whole time in my mind, I just kept thinking to myself, the whole goal of this is just to run comfortably. So I get to Grosse Point, warm up, forgot my gloves. So I realized that's another thing that happened. So I took my sock. I found an old glove in the bottom of the car seat, and I found a glove. I had a sock. So that's how I started racing this morning, which is terribly uncomfortable. If you have never raced with run with a sock in your hand before, and I had not run with gloves at all this year. Just I not run with mittens at all this year, just gloves. So then I had a bottle in my hand, which it was a Morton bottle, but I didn't have like the handle that I usually do because I had lost that. And so the bottle's leaking all over my hand the first 3 miles, and I was just trying to keep my head in the game.
No, you're supposed to just be like, you know what, this is a long run day.
But I was still hitting my paces that Melissa told me to. So for the first 5K, no faster than 6:25, but no slower than 6:40. Just ease into the race. So I think my first mile was 6:34, and then I was at 6:26, 6:26, something like that. So I was doing everything I was supposed to, but at mile 3, I could not hold on to the bottle anymore because my glove and sock were getting all wet because it was leaking. So I had to toss that at mile 3. So that means I had no scratch with me. So I got to figure that out for Eugene. And then I had the belts that we get at the expo, to hold my gels in.
Yeah.
I would take 2 out by accident. I take the wrong one by accident, and I had to slow down to try to fix it. It just, it was nothing but like just little things over and over that weren't going well, but my pace was fine. And then I started racing these two guys, not like not letting them run with me. I was telling this to Tommy earlier, not letting them run with me just inching up on them, or they'll inch up on me and back and forth, instead of just like, hey, what are you guys trying to do here? Let's work together. I didn't have that in my head to say that. It was just, you guys need to get away from me. I don't want to run with you right now. So then at mile 7, I broke away. I just hit a surge because I was told at mile 7 or 8, I could hit the gas if I wanted to. If I was feeling good. I thought I felt good enough to hit the gas, but I think part of it, and I did, I went down to like 6:15, 6:16 for mile 7 or 8. And then I couldn't do it anymore. And I think a lot of it was I just burned up a lot of mental energy trying to, race with these guys instead of like running with them. And then around mile 9, I caught up to 2 more people. They looked like they were a couple. And the woman in front of me turned out to be Angela Karen, which I didn't realize until we got back. Until she messaged me on Strava. But I caught up to them, and the guy looked at me and just kind of smiled like, you don't belong up here. It was just a weird like, okay, buddy, And I would look at my watch, and I was going at 6 minutes flat. I thought, okay, hold on.
Maybe I'm not supposed
maybe
to
he's right.
Yeah, maybe he's right. So I slowed down a little bit, and they eventually pull away. And then one of the guys that was racing, when we get to mile 10. So have you guys raced this before?
No.
You go into an airport hangar, and you do
I always hear about it, and I hear like the wind is wicked.
It wasn't that bad. The wind was bad on the back of the island, but you're on an island, so if you don't expect wind, you're just playing with yourself, or you're playing yourself really. So out and back, I could see the guy that I took off on at mile 7. I could see him right behind me as I did the turnaround at mile 10. I thought, okay, he's going to catch me, because at that point I realized I'm not going to PR, but I'm not going to let myself slow down. So I just locked into whatever my pace was, which is 6:22-ish, and just said, just stay here. This is your marathon pace anyway. Just relax, enjoy the rest of the run, feel comfortable, and just finish this race. You got 3 miles to go.
Yeah.
I ended up catching Angela on the final turn of the race, and they changed the start and finish. So it was at the middle school. Now it's at the high school. And so the start, you go down the hill out of the high school. The finish is up the hill, back the same way. So I can run hills pretty well. So that's why I passed her. I just surged all the way up the hill to finish this race. And I passed 2 more guys to finish. One was Thomas something. He ran Indy with you, Aaron. He ran that race in Indy Monumental. He ran a 2:47 at Indy. I think Malik. It's a friend of Malik's. He pointed.
Thomas Tralla.
Yeah. Yep. I caught up. I passed him, and I passed Angela at the final, like 0.1 of the race. So 2:24. I think it's my 3rd fastest half marathon time. I'm not mad at it. I felt like I ran a solid, good race. Mentally, I had some hiccups at the beginning trying to figure out what the hell was going on, but I just, adjusted and adapted as needed. And I kind of wanted a little PR because I thought, it's not too far out of the way to get it for me. But the big goal is Eugene, so there's no reason to go all out for essentially was a workout / tune-up, race.
So when I talked to you after your race, you were a little disappointed sounding,
Yeah.
even though you kind of executed what you're supposed to do for a marathon tune-up, like you hit your marathon paces pretty well, despite apparently your life falling apart every 10 steps. So I feel like you had a good day, but and you sound better about it now. Like, I think what I'm trying to get to is like, how did you process it to get to now? Because a lot of times we'll all have like a race that other people think is good enough. Your coach thinks good enough. We've all been there. We ran a race that was like actually pretty good, but we just like were really hard on ourselves because we had this one little like A goal that we really thought we should hit. How did you process that to get to like now?
I looked at my splits.
Man, I'm about to update my LinkedIn, dog, because I am on fire today.
I looked at my splits on Strava. The one that goes all the mile by mile, and they were. If you look at it, except for the last mile when I finished hard, it was all pretty much just down the line. Like it was just very good, very even tempoed race for the most part. Yeah. So I thought, well, that's good. That's what you need. That's what I'm going to need come Eugene. Start out conservative and just get into pace and just, as you've been saying, turn your brain off, and just click off these miles. And that's really what it needs to do. Don't race anybody, run with people. I'm glad I'm trying this equipment now, like the belt and the bottle and whatnot. This is what these races are for. So now I got to figure out what's going to work well for me. I got a 20-mile long run this Sunday, so I'll see what else I can find. I can try something different for that. But it was a good learning experience, and overall, it was just a good run. It was a good, like I told Aaron on Instagram, it was a good solid run. So
and I think things not going like super perfect, it allows you an opportunity to kind of like reflect a little more and not rest on your laurels, because like if that tune-up race goes flawlessly and like nothing goes wrong and it just you nail it exactly how you kind of start believing your own, you kind of start believing your own, if you will, you know what I'm saying? So to have that rocky start and it not go like perfectly to plan, that's kind of what you want, because it shows you like you can overcome those things and still do what you wanted to do. Because if everything just goes off beautifully and you have no hitches, no cares in the world, it's like, oh well, I'm really him. Like I don't have anything to worry about. I'm right on track. But to have that little bit of friction, I think it's gonna help in the long run.
Yeah, especially my last 2 marathons in Eugene, where I kind of get anxiety filled because of the size of the crowd and getting bottlenecked in. I know now that I can just take a breather for a second, not stop, but like, you're going to be okay. It's going to be crowded for the first 5 miles. And after that, you'll be able to lock in and just coast,
Yeah. Well, no, I think you did a good race, and I'm glad that you got it out the way, tried some new things. And I think you'll be ready. You'll be ready.
Yeah. Thank you. I appreciate that. One of the new things I tried, by the way, was this alt red. Like that? Alt red by Sur Nutrition.
This episode is brought to you by Sur Nutrition. 15% off on sur.co if you use PRPROJECT as a code. No, honestly though, if anybody's in the chat and or listen to this pod, if you get it and you try like any of their products, like literally DM us and PRPROJECT's Instagram and let us know. Like you don't have to post and tag. You can, that'd be sweet. But if you like it or whatever, we just want feedback, because we like it. So we hope you do too. All right, so workout. Aaron, so let's talk about it, because I know you had this workout circled for sure.
For sure.
How'd it go?
It went well. I'm not gonna lie, I was a little backstory. Coach puts my weekend like at the top of the week, so usually it comes in like Friday or Saturday. She'll update the next week. But I don't like to look at it until after my long run on Sunday. So after our long run last Sunday in Pontiac, that 16-miler, I looked and I saw that she had 2 by 3 miles at threshold effort in a 15-mile long run. And I was a little weary. It was a little intimidating, because that threshold effort, I haven't held a threshold effort for that long in a while. So I wasn't sure how my body would react to it, how I would feel about it. But I just went into it with an open mind, and I said, if today doesn't go well, that's okay. I want it to go well, but if it doesn't, that's fine. So basically, I had to run 2 5Ks at the pace that I ran my last 5K race at. So the auto show 5K, I ran like 19:20 or something like that. But this was 3 miles and at like 6:08 pace, which is like 18. If it was if you spread it out to 5K, it would be like 18:50 or something like that. So it was two 5K races, basically the same race that I did a month and a half ago. So it with a mile of rest in between. So I was a little shook, but I'm just like, whatever, bro. Like, you've been training for it.
Mm-hmm.
This is what you think about. Like, these are the days that you want to have. So go out there and have a day. So 4 mile warm up. I was running into the wind. It was kind of messing my mind up a little bit because I'm like, it's gonna be one of them days. But got into the first interval, kind of settled in and just rolled through. Nailed that one right on time. It was 18:24, so perfectly 6:08 pace, which was pretty much my goal. I didn't want to get out and go too hard in the first one and then die in the second one. So I'm like, stay honest, stay on point for the first rep. Nailed it. Took my mile recovery, and then for the second rep, I'm just like, I want it to be faster than the first rep, but don't try to get it all in the beginning. So first mile, second mile, and then I was right where I need to be. And then the last mile, I'm like, go ahead and let it rip a little bit. And I was coming down Lincoln in Royal Oak, where we do Run for Brews. So I crossed over Woodward, and it kind of has that incline.
Yeah.
Well, even before Woodward, there's a little climb, but then as you go right over Woodward, there's a climb until you get to like Main Street. So I'm just like, just take the hill, and then you get it back a little bit on the way down. And I just kind of like let my legs turn over, and the last mile was like 5:55 or something like that. So I'm just like, there it is, nailed it. Couldn't ask for a better day. Literally couldn't ask for better weather. Like, this is what we've been waiting for throughout the whole winter, is the opportunity to run in 40 or 50 degree weather with beautiful sun and not any rain or anything crazy like that. So that was great. And I also took a alt red before I got started, so maybe that also helped out a little bit. Who knows? But
Man, I was so close. I was so close to taking it to them, but I was like, nah, just chill. But I'm like,
I got it. Why not? I've been taking the beetroot for a few days now too, so I'm just like, give yourself as many advantages as you can. So did that, and it turned out well. So I was happy with how it turned out. It was nice because I had a big hill workout on Wednesday in the rain, and it was cold and it was tough. So to have a workout that was a little more comfortable and a little more satisfying was really cool.
Right. No, that's good. I mean, that's I like the fact that like you were kind of like, not worried about it, but you were like definitely like cautious about the workout and then nailed it. Like that's like the best feeling, because like sometimes when you like kind of work yourself up to it and then you don't do it, it's like, see, I knew it. I knew it. Yep. I knew I was trash, but it's dope that you went out there. And it really was a beautiful day though. Like, would it have been too hot to race today? Like,
no.
Because it was like high 40s, low 50s, but with the breeze, it was like feels like 42. It was like literally perfect.
Yeah, that wind was still real. The sun was out, but the wind was still legit, cold.
This is my favorite part of the year. Anytime you can run with half tights and a long sleeve, like that's perfect. Like to me, that's like perfect running attire. It's like a long sleeve, half tights, and just go.
Today and yesterday felt like fall.
Overdressed.
I actually thought I overdressed a little bit too, because I had the base layer on and tank. I realized maybe I didn't need the base layer, but I definitely needed gloves.
I definitely overdressed big time. I had on full tights. I had a base layer under there. I had a base layer under the rugby.
Crazy, man. I was wondering.
I mean, I was trying to. I told myself I was heat training.
I mean,
maybe it was protecting your nipples, because running with a rugby on by itself would have been
right.
chaos.
Might have been a little treacherous. I mean, no. That's like that was a tracksmith rugby. So it was like I can't remember. I don't know what you have that would be the same fabric as that, but it was like high quality. Like, so I don't know.
I have a tracksmith rugby though. The purple and green one.
It's kind of heavy duty.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it probably would have been a little rough. Yeah, you're probably right.
But as we're talking about your fit, let's talk about this trek that you went on, this adventure that you went on today on your long run. So
actually, first tell them the original plan. Tell everybody the original route that you had in mind.
Oh, so my original. So my coach put this for. Are y'all there?
Yeah.
Oh, there we go. I'm gonna say all of a sudden it was gone. Like I hit a button, it was gone. My coach put this 4.5 hour run on my schedule. So I'm like, oh, bet, like, cause I had did 4 hours last week, and then I'm like, oh, I'm gonna run from my house to Gary's race, and that's like literally like but it's like 36 miles away, and I'm like, that makes sense. Like I could probably pull that off, But then I thought about it. His race starts at 8. Was it 8?
Yeah.
Race starts at 8. He would be finished by, hopefully 9:22 to 9:24. That means that I'd had to leave the house like 4.5, 5 hours or so, because you got to counter in like stopping and go to the bathroom, grab something to eat, grab the snacks, and keep running. So I'm like, yeah, I just backed out. But if anybody got a race in Michigan next Sunday, hit me up. I might run to it. But like it just didn't work out. I would have, but if you were running a marathon, Gary, I would have ran, because I would have had just a little more time to get there.
Right. Yeah. No, because I remember I think you were trying to figure out doing the math.
Yeah, the math was not going to work out.
Yeah.
At all. But yeah, so my journey today, I had a 4.5 hour run on the schedule. And I just it took me forever to get out the door. Like it really did. Like it was like one of the I wasn't dreading, like I thought I was dreading it, but I thought about I wasn't dreading the miles. It was just like my dog was sick last night, and so I got up 3 times in the middle of the night, and then when I woke up, the time it went from in my brain, it went from 2 to 6:30 so fast. Like I'm like, what just happened? And it did. It literally was 3 hours instead of 4, so I was just that threw me off. I got up slow and all this other stuff. So, but I finally got out the door at 9:30, 10 o'clock or something like that, which is way later than I wanted to. And they just went out and ran forever, it felt like. And I it's been running longer distances like that, have been really transformational in a sense of you go through so many things in that time period, physically and emotionally and mentally, just because you'll have a moment where you're just on top of the world. It's just this is great. You rapping the song, you know what I'm saying? You're going crazy. You getting video, and then there's a big chunk where it's just if I stop running now, it's over. I'm not. This is crazy. And then there's that moment, and then you get to that point where it's just you're just running, and that's just it. It doesn't really care. The pace doesn't really matter. You're just moving, and that's it. And it's really fun. It's tough though too. I can't wait to see what this does for a marathon type of situation. I wouldn't necessarily get to this high mileage again. Who knows? But the fact that I know I could do it, and the fact that I know how to run slower now, I was running with Gary, and he has his watch set to a range that's much slower than what your range used to be on easy run days.
Mm-hmm. And 8:30 tops out at 8:30.
Yeah, I mean that may be fast to other people, but when we met Gary, you were running all your easy runs 7:45, 7:50, but just to be able to put in a big mileage and then just turn around and keep running the next day, because you didn't ever get close to not threshold, but you just didn't get close to like even medium effort, really.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Heart rate stayed low. It was just it was actually a really fun day. Like I think I got like 1,100 feet of elevation over the things. I was like looking for hills and looking for ways to get my weekly elevation up just because I wanted to. I wanted to see if I could do it, but it was a good day, man. It was a good day. And I wore super shoes. Again, I wore the Adidas
how many
Pro Forest.
miles do you have for the week?
For the week, 128.
That's a lot, right?
Yeah, I think so. 128 miles for the week.
That is for comparison, that is over double what I have this week. And I ran 62 miles.
Yeah. That is
my
over
math
double.
is correct, which is not normally is not.
Yeah. So like, yeah, I mean, I'm not even trying to be funny or whatever, but like it doesn't I promise you it does not feel like 128 miles. I felt the same every week since I got to like 90. If that makes sense.
That's good. I think it goes back to what you're just talking about the keeping your paces controlled, running slow for what you normally do, so you're not burning yourself out.
Yeah. And I feel great. I feel mentally sharp, all the good things. You know what I mean? Like I'm not taxing anything, which is like, like if it
you're
was like
speaking in corporate lingo, obviously your mental acuity is on par.
My mental acuity is on par, exactly. But yes, I feel good. I mean, I feel good. Like I thought honestly, like if in my mind, like a while back, like if somebody said like 100, yeah, like it's a grind, it's this, it's that. But like it even makes me think about like how I could like restructure or rethink about any training block. Like just take away that whole like this has got to be a grind. Like for a long time, like I mean that's what we do. Like marathon's a grind. Marathon training is I mean it should be tough and challenging, but like I just don't see the reason why so much I was like this is the grind and it's like suffering on purpose and like just leaning into the suffering. Like you stand up, you're like, oh, and you were like, I don't even feel that bad. Like what's all that noise for? You just kind of like lean into it's just changed kind of how I thought about like that process. So hopefully that just means like my running just becomes more fun and relaxed from here on out.
It's what I've been trying to talk about. It's trying to make yourself comfortable in the uncomfortableness of it all.
Yeah. 100%.
Yeah, because the training is already like it's already hard enough, and to like lean into the idea like, oh, this should be hard, this should be difficult. Like it kind of, I don't know, it kind of multiplies the like it's already enough. Like the training the right way, it's more than enough. Like you don't need to add the extra sauce on top of it to be like, I gotta grind through this, I gotta overachieve, I gotta knock out make sure all my paces are super on point and all that. It's like, no, bro. Right. Like, let the training do what the training is supposed to do and go from there.
Yeah, like it's just like it's already like it's already tough enough. And then you add on like the mental thought of like it being a burden. Then it's like, and it's heavier than every day. It's like, oh, I gotta do this. Like that whole I have to versus I get to. Like that seems hokey and real, foo-foo, but it's like for real, like just that little shift just makes it easier to get out the door. You probably run less tense, like all the vibes, So, and I've been listening to a bunch of books and listening to like the power of the subconscious mind and all that stuff. And I mean, I be out there talking to myself kind of crazy. So like, just like in a good way, just like things come up and you just gotta like place it in better spots. You know what I mean?
Tommy's in the living room going, we need synergy.
We need.
I'm not gonna lie, bro. I've been motivated by LeVar Ball. LeVar Ball recently had to have his foot amputated, and I'm just like, the fact that I have both my feet, bro, the fact that I have all my limbs and I'm able to do this alone is a blessing. Like I should take it. I should take in all the appreciation that I can, that I'm able to do this right now, because there's no guarantee that I'll be able to do it tomorrow. So like, if you complaining about being able to move, like it's already, you already kind of in a weird spot.
Yeah, it's like and then even like how we train and like how most people on the call train, you know, at whatever level you train at, you do more. We all do more than like some oddly high percentage of the world, you know, and they're kind of able to. But then there's this other section that is not able to do even able to do that or think about doing that, you know. So it's like, bro, like this is a gift. Really, it's fun. We like it. If you're listening to this podcast or listening or watching this show, you like running or you like hearing us talk about dumb stuff every now and then, you know. But running's probably a part of that. So it's like we might as well just have fun with this as much as possible. That's why somebody commented on our show, the Usui that makes the hydration vest. Big shout out to Usui because they sent me a vest. I wore it today. I thought it was super cool. But he was saying like, hey, I check out your show often. Like I don't catch it live, but I'll jump in and I'll like watch it and stuff like that after you guys post it. And he was like, I love the fact that it's about running, but it's really just three friends like talking and having fun. So sometimes it just goes up. You guys just talk, go off the rails, have some fun, laugh, talk. I'm laughing with you, but then randomly you get serious because it's like it's about something that matters to you guys. And like that's really it, bro. Like we should only care about stuff, like deeply care about stuff that like really matters and like really moves the needle for us. And that's what this show really is to me too. So
real quick, speaking of off the rails, I forgot to report. No deer were harmed today.
Oh, thank God.
As far as I know. About that. As far as I know, no deer were harmed at today's Rock CF Rivers Marathon.
Man, this is like the anniversary. Let's have a moment of silence.
Nah. Anyway.
Whoa, bro!
I'm sorry.
I've never heard of a moment of silence being cut before. Have you?
It was one of those unbelievable things I've ever witnessed in my entire life.
It was crazy. It's the craziest thing ever. I had this up here earlier. I don't know why I never answered. I clicked it. Do you even have time to strength train, Tommy? The answer is yes. When I get up in the morning out of the bed, I do upward. What's the opposite of a squat? Stand up, and then I go down the steps. Sometimes I go back up them. You know. So yeah, I do it all the time.
What about?
Heck no, man! I ain't doing no strength training.
I think you do right arm rows when you opening up that refrigerator.
Yeah. Hey, wait. Gary, somebody, we was at the gym or something, and Gary. Me and Gary were running past somebody, and the guy was like, "You doing something?" And you were like, "What if you find out that guy's like trying to work out to crank his lawnmower?" Did you say that?
He was doing something weird.
Yeah, he was outside doing something, and he was like, "What if that guy's like just practicing to like crank his lawnmower?" Because he was like, I forgot what he was doing. But yeah, no, I started off the training block lifting, and as the mileages went up, I stopped doing that. I think about it every now and then. Like today, I thought about it a lot. Like, should I be? But it's just like, you know what? Let's just get through these miles, you know. Steve said his head was on a swivel for that deer today.
That deer's not coming back.
That deer's gone.
Maybe that deer's children came back and tried to get it back in blood or something. I don't know.
Right.
There were two more deer that were part of that incident that, you know, could be lurking around for runners for sure. So one took a good hip check to that fence post, I'll tell you that.
True, yeah. I mean, if you see a deer limping left side limp, that's him. All right, what's your question?
So after a day of running 4 hours and 30 minutes, what does food look like for you? Like, are you eating everything? Because you aren't withering
I got
away. Like I know some
here.
people that's ran like high mileage like this, and they start to kind of wither away. But you seem to be.
I eat a lot. Yeah, I eat a lot. But I've been super like heavy on like protein shake right after, and I've been super heavy. Like I have other supplements that I've been taking like very like consistently to help with recovery. I popped that. I popped that Sur Nutrition meal shake, right? Because it has fiber, protein, all the good things that you need. But honestly, like I've been, I'm a carb guy too, you know, like so I've been like I don't mind having like I just eat a lot of carbs for sure. But I feel like I am like losing weight a little bit somewhere, you know, like I just feel like I feel like leaner, you know. But I definitely feel strong though. Like I feel stronger than I ever have like out running. And until you get to like 2 hours and 2-3 hours, you start feeling funny. Is he frozen to you too? Okay.
Yeah, he might be frozen, but I assume fueling's a big factor.
Yeah. So I know, so what I've been doing lately for the fueling side.
I know sometimes for me now, I've been trying to fuel every 4 miles, and I'll start to feel hunger pains as I get closer to that 4 mile mark.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's just a Pavlovian thing at this point, but I definitely feel like it's been helping, whether it's the gels and or the scratch.
Yeah, so I've been doing the nutrition part. Like I've been staying fairly consistent and trying to make sure I fuel in some way. I've been like eating on the runs too, because like these runs aren't like meant to be like marathon pace or whatever like that. So I have time, you know, like and I'm taking them very like leisurely. Like my time on feet, like if the run is 4 hours and 30 minutes, the time on feet is like the overall time on the run is like 5 hours, 10 minutes. You know, like I'm not.
Yeah,
it's not. You know what I mean? Like I stopped at the store today at the gas station. I had fuel in the. I had scratch in the bladders. But I had the super carb scratch. So like I knew I was getting enough carbs and I knew I was getting enough like fuel, but it still feels funny not eating something like after that period of time. So like I stopped and grabbed a Pop-Tart and ate the Pop-Tart in the gas station and then just left. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I've been trying to like get used to like eating in the run too.
You should start finding a way. I hear boiled potatoes and like other kind of solid foods are,
yeah,
important when you're doing long runs, such as that.
Yeah, like I just want to. I mean, it's all like really cool and fun because it's like as you like just play with like running more, you just have to find other like different ways than we were used to. You know, like running 8 miles, 10 miles. Yeah, it just requires a different type of thing. So it's been really fun, like to kind of get used to this. Yeah, so it's a vibe right now for sure. But so just real quick, just I want to remind you. I think Aaron's working on getting back on. Just remind you really quick. Do another quick little ad read. We'll do like 2 of these, and then Gary's gonna just randomly pop up when he has an opportunity to. This episode is brought to you by Sur Nutrition. For 15% off, go to sur.co, sur.co, and type in PRPROJECT into the discount code thing and get 15% off. Let us know if you like the protein, or the protein comes out next month, right?
Right, but the crunchy mangoes and the crunchy strawberries are out.
The beetroot, the joint support, and the alt red is out.
Right? Yeah, I think if you're training hard for a marathon or any distance really, or if you're cycling, whatever, the alt red is good for like race day, or hard training days. Whereas like the regular beetroot is like an everyday supplement just to kind of get the blood flow going a bit more. But the alt red's the one for like really hard, you know, either a hard race or a big training day.
Yeah, I know, because I know like the beetroot, they said like the alt red is like the level up. So if you take beetroot or you drink beet juice, stuff like that before your marathons, which I do, like alt red is like that step up. Like I guess it's like more formulated. But
which is good because I I can't see myself drinking beet juice per se, but I can do this.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. So Milk Malik said, did you need any rest stops by chance, Tommy? Not rest stops, but like I stopped at the gas station to get a Pop-Tart. Yeah, no, like not like rest, but just like stuff. Like
I think he needs to go to the bathroom.
Oh, like number one, yeah. Number one, no number twos. That's like if I'm ever late, just for clarity. I mean, since we're here, if I'm for the most part, if I'm late, 9 times out of 10, it's because I was making sure that I don't have to do number 2 on the run. I hate public bathrooms. Like that's like the like public bathrooms. The thought of it makes my skin crawl. Like so, I try my best to not have to use them. So just to be clear, like it's me, it's my fault, but it's also I'm like, hey, I gotta stay here a little longer.
Okay, blame it on your bowels. Got it.
It's not my fault. It's not my fault. Oh, what else? Oh, what else happened in the? Did anything else happen in the running world lately that we're tuned to, that we're hip to?
Did we talk about Tokyo? Yeah, we talked about Tokyo last year.
We talked about Tokyo. Yeah, we talked about Tokyo. Somebody thought Jakob Ingebrigtsen went Adidas because he had on that Adidas. He had Adidas fit on in his like European Championships, but no, but it's just his team is his country, I think, is Adidas.
Oh, yeah.
He still had on some Dragonflies. Thomas starts track tomorrow.
Oh, that's right. Abigail starts on the 11th.
Yeah.
I got
Thomas track tomorrow.
I picked Abigail up a pair of Vomeros for training.
Nice.
I feel like those would be the best shoe for her.
It's one of the top shoes, bro.
Yeah.
Are you gonna get her track spikes?
I got her cross country spikes at the end of last year, and they came with both. They came with both types of spikes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Are you going to show her how to use them as a tool to fend off would-be passersby?
I'm going to show her where the Achilles tendon is. If they pass you, here's where the Achilles is.
This is the ouch button.
The ouch button. Oh. Yeah, so you guys got any questions for us? Drop them in chat right now. Drop any questions in the chat. While they're thinking of all their amazing questions to ask us about racing, nutrition, long runs, Eugene Marathon coming up. Our special guest, Kira D'Amato, just won a race this weekend. She won the River Run. I mean, she's probably one of the best tape breakers out there. Like the way she comes through, hands up, you know, you know what I mean? She's good at breaking
the video.
She's got experience doing
it. Yeah.
The reel that you sent me though, she was flying towards the finish, both hands up in the air, and didn't even break stride. There was like,
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I would have been. Oh, whoa! Hold on. Have you guys ever broken the tape?
No, I've never had it. Well, no. I've won a race, but like I don't think I've ever broken a tape.
Yeah, my two career victories, there was no tape to be broken, unfortunately.
Yeah, me neither. I mean, it just seems like it's an easy thing to do, you know.
I mean, just at the very least, get some paper mache out, you know.
Toilet paper. It could be toilet paper.
Yeah.
Probably safer.
I don't know. I mean, you gotta be charging pretty big bucks to have a roll of toilet paper as your finishing tape.
Nowadays, yeah. The toilet paper is going up. I'm about to invest in Charmin. I have never broke tape before. It's just like when you turn that corner and you see that there is no tape, it's kind of a bummer.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, at the race in Pontiac, when I was coming up over the hill, I saw people like kind of moving around the finish line, and I thought for sure they were getting the tape ready. No, they're just getting otherwhere.
Yeah. It's like, oh, I get it. But no.
That's fine.
And so we do have a question. Cool. Thank you so much, Alexis. Favorite gel, Aaron.
Morton non-cap 100, I guess.
What about you, Gary?
I'm Morton now. I was an early adopter of Goo and then Honey Stinger for quite a bit. But I'm used to the Morton now. I did have a caffeine gel today, and I'm glad the water station was coming up quick. Nasty. There's an aftertaste of that.
The aftertaste is so nasty.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think mine would have to be Morton. I mean, that's just what I've been taking. But I still have a lot. I still take UCAN as well. UCAN tastes way better.
Yeah.
Like it's just like in the run. Like I'd much rather like open the UCAN at any moment. But I think I'm in the middle of both for real. But I always have the on a race day. I always have at least 2 caffeine Mortons. That's like a necessity. You got to have that boost.
Jerry just put in here, Huma is good. I've actually tried Huma before, and I did not. I forgot what flavor it was, but I was not a fan. I couldn't finish it.
They got like, I know I had a Huma. I think it was strawberry, but it had like it might have been lemon or something. I don't know, but it had like little crunchies in it, and it was kind of weird.
Huma?
Yeah.
Had a little crunchies in it. Chia seeds, I think.
I don't think it's. Oh yeah, chia seeds.
Yeah.
I didn't remember them being crunchy.
Yeah, it was crunchy.
I think yours might have been bad.
It might have been a bad one. It might have found.
I don't know. It's Huma. They got that crunchy vibe to it, though, right? Like
yeah, because it's supposed to be like organic kind of situation.
Yeah.
Maybe it was. Maybe they picked it up from under the cash register. Like, just give it this.
Hey, when the bag got dust on it, bro, put it back. When the little pouch got dust on it.
You never know. Jerry also said, "Oh, go ahead.
Go back. Alexa said she's also a fan of Precision. I've never had Precision.
I haven't either, but I've heard good things about it.
Yeah. So Jerry is running the Eugene Marathon. He said, "Your take on the Eugene Marathon? The race does not start until you cross over that bridge at mile
11-ish, 12.
Yeah,
11.
So
yeah,
no, because 11 is like in that weird like Western neighborhood, like old Western kind of like downtown area. The bridge is after that. I feel like.
Yeah,
I don't know. I've only ran it once. It was all a dream. But yeah, take it easy. When you see the football field, when you see Autzen, take it all in because you about to hop on the riverfront kind of situation. And that's when the wheels came off for me. So, but it's a beautiful race. And there is a pretty big climb at mile 5 and mile 8 because you kind of go around this loop at mile 5. Well, it's not a loop, but it's like you go down and you come back up. And then at mile 8, there is a 3-tiered like hill that goes back up towards Hayward. And then you almost pass by the start line. So control the effort there. Keep it honest. Don't be a superhero on that hill because it's still super early. And just enjoy it. The atmosphere is always beautiful. And you'll see the torch from Hayward starting around mile 23. And you might think that the race is almost over. But I promise you, the torch is much farther away than you think it is.
Yeah, it's a good mid-sized marathon. Like 4,000 people are running it. It gets very crowded at the beginning. First 5 miles are definitely, you got to be prepared to maybe not be right on your your goal marathon pace right away, that's fine. Just relax. Keeps you honest. And quite frankly, you're going to need that extra energy anyway towards the end of the race. But a lot of river path. Once you get past that hill on mile 8, a lot of river. There are some quiet dead spots, but you can get through that. There is no reason, if you have a strong game plan and you're fit, where you can't have a good, decent race, provided that you're also fueling properly and your strategy's on point. But you can do fast. You can go fast there for sure.
Absolutely.
Speaking of, you said that's a nice, decent sized race. Speaking of a race that's a very big race, it's very big, very big.
Huge.
I've heard it some. Malik says, your opinion on the number of people accepted into the NYC Marathon. Okay. How many people were accepted into the NYC Marathon? I heard 2-3% of the people that applied for lottery.
Yeah.
Was 2-3% of 200,000. Something like that. I don't know the number of people that got let in.
I don't know either. I don't think they've actually said it yet, or maybe they did. I think they were just like, it could be 2 to 3%, but there's still 50 to 70,000 people running the race. So I know that like the automatic qualifying is also a bit of a controversy, because either if you're a New York Roadrunner member and you qualified under one of their races, you're automatically in time-wise. But then there's another like separate, like almost like a Boston cutoff type for non-New York Roadrunners, automatic qualifying times as well, which I think is fairly new this past 2 years. But I think we talked about it offline. Somebody mentioned this is going to be like the NFL now, where it's not really, I think it was you, Aaron, right? Like it's not really going to be for the people as much as it used to be. And maybe we're at the point now as runners and people who are using their voice to make some change before it gets too out of hand. But running's popular right now, and I'm sure like maybe in 10 years it won't be as popular and it won't be as hard.
I thought you said money was popular right now. I'm like, yeah, that's true. That's also true. The lottery had 6,000 people out of like what, 75,000 people start or something like that. Like the numbers, when I heard the numbers, like I'm like, it's just kind of like, wait, what? Like, I think New York should just release all the numbers, just. Here's what it is. You know what I mean? Like, because I don't know if anything's actually changed. Like, I know that people reported on it in a different way because more people applied than last year and the year before and the year before. So it's like, I think, I don't know if anything's changed. So like, they should just say like, okay, here's the percentage for this, here's the percentage for that. Like Boston, even though we get real, crazy about it, but it's kind of clear what their percentages are, like they could just say, this is how many people we let in. This is how many people we have for, this is how many people's left. And that's it. There's like this really big window. Like now we have to try to make up in our minds what the difference, what's the makeup of between 6,000 and 75,000. And that just seems to be so many people that like, how are people that ran a qualifying time getting cut off? They should just release like, here's how it's made. Here's how we do it.
I think New York makes it more complicated than Boston is too, because of the New York Roadrunners, and then they have the 9+1, and then charity bibs and corporate bibs and automatic qualifying bibs, and then lottery. Like it seems to me like a lot of mathing going on. Like you think you're right, maybe just release how it is, but I think they're trying to figure it out. I think this is new for them too. Like having to say, hey, I know you got this automatic qualifier, but because you didn't run it in New York, you're not automatically going to get it this year. So, like I said, I think that's new. I think they're still trying to figure it out. But again, this is all, I think running ebbs and flows. The popularity of running ebbs and flows. So
But I think that I think you're right about the popularity goes up and down. But I think this is probably one of the bigger booms that running seen. But then there's more money involved than ever before too. Like one of the last booms, it was just like a people boom. This one seems to be, to me, along with like influencers and content creators and actual celebrities like tapping into running. It's like it's a different level of like money available for the brands to make and for races to make. But like Alexis saying, she's like she's felt so many people probably are turned off from even finishing the 6 stars. It's too much, too many people, too much money, too crowded. She's debating finishing. And that's like just not good. I mean, that's just if Alexis is thinking this, it's got to be,
yeah,
hundreds of thousands of people thinking about this, in a way, it's like, or I'm never going to
start. Post today that in May, I think in May they're gonna. This is the last year that South Africa, Cape Town, is it Cape Town?
Mm-hmm.
This might be the last year that it's not a world major.
Yeah, Cape Town's next. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean those flights to Australia, flights to Cape Town, are both like 20+ hours. From here, anyway. She's definitely onto something.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's cool. I mean, okay, so I think it's cool that they're adding other countries, other parts of the world, because it was for 3 to be here for it to be 3 world majors are three world majors are in the United States just doesn't seem right really anyway.
No, I get that. It goes back to yeah.
Because I mean, we're talking about it from like, I agree with you, but we're talking about it from like our standpoint of like, man, we got it here, you got it da. But like the world majors have been available to like all these other countries for this time too, like and talked about, but it's harder, it costs. They got to come here for 3 of them. You know what I mean? And I just feel like something should be easier. Like if you're gonna keep popping these places up, it should be at least easier to get into something. Like something has to give. Like you can't just keep adding them and then they're all tough and hard to get into. Like you can't just keep like have 9 major marathons and you can't get into any of them except for Chicago. Like shout out to Chicago for somehow feeling like making people still feel like they can run the race.
Right.
In Berlin too. Like Berlin doesn't have any weird talk about it. It's just, I didn't get in, New York now. I didn't realize it, but New York now, Boston, Sydney. I mean, shout out to Sydney, but they're like, that's like on the other side of the world.
Yeah.
Tokyo is always a lottery.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tokyo's always been hard to get into.
Tokyo's its own.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
Dilemma.
I don't know. Jerry said, y'all running Sydney. I mean, maybe one day, but not this year.
Not this year. Yeah.
Stop.
Aaron's boycotting Target and World Marathon Majors.
Stop begging these multi-million-dollar corporations to give them your $300 for the privilege to race in their events. I understand that people want to run marathon majors for the experience. I get you, but don't let these big races make you feel less than because you don't get in, or if you haven't ran them, it doesn't make you a runner or anything like that. That's not the case. If you want to run a marathon, there are hundreds, if not thousands, of local marathons that need your money just as way more than these huge conglomerates that run these shakedowns to give you a special medal for spending 10,000 plus to travel around the world to run these races. So
yeah, I was just talking to a runner today. She follows us. Her name's Stephanie, and she was saying, we're talking about Grandma's Marathon, Houston, CIM, Detroit, Eugene. I mean, there's a ton just here in the U.S. That are not super small, but they're not super big either. Like they're a good size, decent crowd support. Marine Corps. Like there's a lot of good stuff here as well.
Indy,
sure.
Miami. It's plenty of races that are still ran by local companies that really help the community that really are involved in local communities as far as the run industry, like the run space. Like, don't feel like you're less than. Don't feel like those are consolation marathons or anything like that. You'll still have a great experience. You'll probably save some money, and you'll actually be able to make connections with people and different like brands or different running clubs. Like, there's a running community in almost every city in America or outside of America as well. So if you don't get into these big marathons, don't feel bad. Like I said, you can find one on the exact same day, and it'll be just as fun. So, and it'll be half as expensive, because most of these marathons are $150. So,
and you heard about this
do some
too?
research and figure it out.
Yeah, then they're talking about the what are they calling it? I forgot what they're calling it, but now there's also a half marathon series in Europe, capitalizing on trying to get everyone to do them all. Like, I forgot what it's called, but it's literally the world majors, but just a half marathon thing.
For a half?
Yeah, but it's like they're calling it something. It's got a big medal, and it's like this. It's the same thing. Like, it's
like
it's
a
not the
trivia
same
medal?
company.
Like you get all the.
I mean, might as well be. But like that, it's a lot. It's a lot. Like, and for people who want to travel and do that, like, great, you know. But like, you're right though, Aaron. Like, the feeling, or like the thought that the comparison part. Like, if you don't get in, and if you want to, it's just, if you want to do that stuff, then fine. Like, that's great. But don't feel the super halves. That's what they call it. Thank you, Malik. But if you want to do that type of stuff, then just got to go through the process, apply, or whatever way you get in, you get in. If not, though, like, the comparison of the people who did, and brands even, making feel like this is the special moment and whatever, and your race isn't. That's cap, because really, honestly, if you take all the stuff away, they're all just 26.2 miles. I mean, I'm saying that from a very privileged place, because I run them all. But if I didn't was in the position to work with brands to do that, I wouldn't have had the desire to even do them all. I don't think, just because it's like, there's other things that are more important for me, and like the money that it takes to do these things. Like, I'm privileged that I got to do them, but I just don't and I don't like when people make me feel like I'm special for doing them either, though. Like congratulations, sure, but like that whole, oh man, I'm not you did all this, like, that literally doesn't matter. Like, run 3 times a week and never touch a marathon, you're a runner just like everybody else. But yeah.
Yeah.
So, Gary, you gonna do the super halves?
No. I just seems silly to me,
Well, I think it's more of a European thing. Like, I mean, it's anybody can do it, but it's definitely one of those, like, and it is easier to travel there. Like, if you're from Europe, you can go anywhere in Europe so fast. Like, that's different.
And maybe this is just privilege talking, but doing a series of half marathons, I'm like,
I mean, to go all the way over there for a half is kind of wild too.
Yeah.
Hey, do some research. Find a beautiful mid-sized race in a all American city. One of my favorite races that I've run was Newport, Rhode Island, and Newport, Rhode Island is nobody's Las Vegas, it's nobody's New York, it's nobody's LA, but it was a beautiful race and I enjoyed it like crazy. And it was my first ever marathon, and I wouldn't take it back. Like, it is what it is.
Yeah.
Right before Boston too. So like, if you want to do the Boston vibe without running Boston, because it is a very hilly course. Go down to Newport, beautiful, way prettier than Boston. I was down there cheering for you. Water everywhere, beautiful area, just a great day. And then you can go watch Boston and cheer people on and be at Boylston.
Yep.
If you want.
If you so choose.
But like, because I mean, Eugene is on the same day as London, and it's like, oh, we don't get to go to London. I'm like, but we're being in Eugene, so that's dope. You know what I mean? But anyway, thank you guys. Thank you guys for watching our show today. Remember, this show is brought to you by Sur Nutrition. tap in, go to sur.co, sur.co, and use PR Project to get 15% off.
And then let us know how you like. And let us know how you like it. We want to know. We want to hear from you.
Yeah, for sure. Let us know.
Get that joint support for all you 40 plus.
I'm about to take 6 of these boys after this run today. Peace out.
See you.